Welcome everyone, this is our Wednesday Wisdom where we go over tips, tricks, and information on band instrument repair. Today we're going to give you a preview of the Sax SmackDown, which you've seen advertised on this channel. We're going to talk about the agenda and the different clinicians, as well as Ryan's clinic. He's going to be here. And before we get to that, we do have a hashtag. This is Sax SmackDown. Make sure you put that in the comments below. That's going to give you a chance to win a discount on the Sax SmackDown event, which is happening on February 23rd and 24th. We also have a couple of clinics coming up before that. Ryan has a key fitting course on January 18th, and we also have a padding course on February 8th. The main event is going to be on 23 and 24 of February for the Sax SmackDown. So we have a winner. We have two winners, actually. Two winners today. The first is a username. This is a fancy one, QQHU1BN.
Congratulations, QQH1BN or whatever.
QQ, you're the winner, and the other winner is username Steven267921.
Oh, we know a Steve Stusek.
It may be the same guy. Well, both of you guys, please send me, or girl, or they, send me an email to richrich@MusicMedic.com. I'll get you your discounted price for the Sax SmackDown. I really hope that you can attend, and if you are interested in winning a discounted admission price to the Sax SmackDown, take the hashtag, put it in the comments below. We'll select one of you for next week. And let's move it right along. So happy New Year, Ryan.
Yes, happy Neo Year.
Happy
to
Neo
you.
Year.
Remember, we are contractually obligated to
That's
say
true.
Neo Year.
Happy Neo Year, sponsored by Neo Pads. Let's go to, so if you're not familiar with the Saxophone SmackDown, this is an event that we have here at Music Medic in Wilmington, North Carolina. We have a bunch of different specialty clinics on saxophone repair. We also have a clinic for saxophone players specifically. So there's a bunch of technical repair clinics. We have a kind of an accessories and ergonomics clinic, as well as a player clinic. So if you are a saxophone enthusiast, professional technician, amateur technician, or if you're just interested in kind of nerding out on all things saxophone, the SmackDown is the place to do that.
Absolutely. You can do it in the safety of, the walls of the pro shop.
That's right. We have an event calendar agenda here. I don't know if you can see it, but you just... Oh, you're going to do that. Yeah. Let's see. We had our computer. So we got the first day.
We're going to be...
What you doing?
I'm just trying to find it. We are. Oh, that's almost us.
So if you're...
there we are. Now we can talk.
And the first day is going to start with Ryan's clinic.
Yes.
We're going to be starting kind of early in the morning.
Yeah, real early in the morning. It's a good thing I'm an East Coast guy and I'm up somewhat early, but yeah, it's going to be a good time. We'll talk about that.
Yes.
What's next?
So
let's say I theoretically finish my...
So the first clinic is going to be about engraving, and we're going to talk about Ryan's clinic in a moment. Then we move on to what is, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it says coffee break. And then there is another item below that called exhibitor demo. So there's going to be exhibitors from, we're going to have Yamaha saxophones here. Theo Wani's going to be here. Jody Jazz Mouthpieces is here. Jody Espina is going to be here. Rulon from Key Leaves is going to be here, as well as Arnold Montgomery. We're going to have North Country Winds, which is going to be featuring Bona cases, which are really cool saxophone case if you've never seen that before. And we're also going to have all of the MusicMedic accoutrements. We're going to have all of our Pro Shop horns, neo-padded horns, non-neo-padded horns of the same, so you can A/B those, as well as our Uberhauled Pro Shop horns that are for sale, as well as our bass saxophone. So if you are a bass player and you've never tried the Wilmington, you're going to be able to try that here. And there's going to be a designated time for all of the exhibitors in the exhibitor area to have like a little spotlight on them. And they're going to talk about the products that they so choose. And then we're going to move back into the clinics. And that's kind of the format of this event, is that we all do things together. So we'll all get here in the morning. We're all going to go to Ryan's clinic. And we're all going to take a break. Then we're all going to watch the exhibitor give their demo. Then we're all going to go to the next clinic, which is going to be Stephen George's. Stephen is the owner of Moment's Notice Repair in Indianapolis, Indiana. He is one of the first first guys to make a mobile repair van. So his entire business is encompassed in a bus, actually.
Yes, it's a bus, not a van, and he doesn't live down by the river, but it is a bus, and I've been inside of it. He did a clinic a couple years ago, I think, at the Napper,
Napper, yes.
conference, maybe last year. Went inside of it. He did it, talked about mobile repair. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic setup. So he's going to be talking about saxophone.
Yes, and Stephen is an excellent saxophone technician. He's going to be doing a keyworking clinic. He's going to be talking about how to make post bushings. He's going to be showing specialty tools and how to make them. It's going to be a very informative and high-end saxophone repair clinic.
Yeah.
Then we're going to move on to a lunch, and we always have a band at lunch, which is really cool. And then we're going to go on to the next portion of the day, which is going to be a Rulon Brown's clinic. Rulon, of course, the founder of Key Leaves. He's an excellent person to hang out with, tremendous individual, and he's going to do a clinic on ergonomics, how to take care of your saxophone. He's also going to have some hands-on time with devices.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that because I enjoy myself a good device.
Yes.
Every now and then.
He's going to have devices in his clinic, and there's going to be a lot of hand time. So that's going to be really cool. Then we're going to have another exhibitor demo, and then at the end of the day at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, we're going to have Theo Wani. Theo, of course, is one of the world's premier saxophone mouthpiece manufacturers. And Theo is going to give us an overview of the saxophone mouthpiece from its inception all the way until modern times, and how, what else is it? And how it's shaped different saxophone sounds. So that's going to be a really fascinating kind of saxophone overview clinic that, you know, when we've been to Napper conferences, we're always like, well, you know, what are we going to, anyone who's given a history or overview of something, usually people are skeptical, and then you come out of there and you're like, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, it'll be a good one. Absolutely.
So looking forward to it. Theo is going to be our last clinic of the first day, and then we're going to have a open bar happy hour. Yeah. Pretty awesome.
Let me ask you this. How much is this open bar?
This open bar is free. Completely free.
Then. You've sold me. I'm in. I was on the fence about attending, but now with that, I'm definitely in. So yeah, included is...
Open bar.
Free open bar.
Free lunch. Free drinks. Free lunch.
Free lunch.
And free open bar on the first day as
refreshments.
Well. We're going to have a little bit of an exhibitor time. So at the end of the day, I know the juices will be flowing in the brains. People will be excited about different mouthpieces, etc. You're going to have a chance to do some trying out and some talking with exhibitors and some just some basic exhibitor time for the attendees. After that, at Music Medic, we really like to take care of our guests, and we're going to have a pizza party at Kurt's house. Kurt Alterac, of course, is the owner of Music Medic, inventor of Neopads. He's been in the Sax Pro Shop for years and years, so Kurt's going to have a party with Theo.
Yes.
Theo, Wani, and Kurt are going to put on a pizza party, so it's going to be free food and drinks there. So you could come to this event and only have to buy dinner for yourself.
Come with the clothes on your back, and really everything else is included. Drinks, food.
We're not going to brush your teeth for you, but maybe somebody will.
You ask nice enough, and maybe.
So that's going to be the whole first day. It's going to be pretty awesome. And then we have the second day, which is going to start a little later. I'm sure,
the pizza party will probably had a good time.
Yes, we're not sure how long the pizza party is going to go, so we're going to start a little later. And then we're going to have Will Peak, who is a innovative repair technician from Missouri. I think he's from Kansas City, Missouri.
Yep.
And Will has done a lot of kind of innovative repair techniques, and he's going to have different customized key adjustments, devices for sound enhancement, techniques for sound enhancement. He's going to talk about non-traditional and traditional materials, when to use tubing, when to not use tubing. It's going to be a very saxophone-specific clinic, and we're looking very forward to that. That's going to be another technical one. And then we have at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday is going to be Jody Espina. Jody, of course, is the founder, owner, the head designer of Jody Jazz Mouthpieces, which are ubiquitous, and they are extremely high quality, amazing saxophone mouthpieces played all throughout the world. And Jody is going to give a player clinic. He's going to talk about how to achieve a saxophone sound, how to get a better jazz sound. He's going to talk about improvisation. And Jody it says he's going to give you only one great idea on improvisation. I have a feeling in an
It's going to
hour.
be probably more than one.
Probably
And
more
if
than
it is one, it's going to be a very big one. Yep.
So Jody's going to be also talking about how to evaluate a saxophone mouthpiece for yourself, which is a great piece of information for those of you who are in the market for a mouthpiece, or you're a saxophone player and you've never, I know that I don't know how to evaluate a mouthpiece, and I've been playing saxophone forever. And so that's going to be really cool. And then we're going to move into some lunch exhibits, so you'll be able to try the mouthpieces that these guys are talking about. And then on the last clinic of Saturday is going to be Jeff Peterson. Jeff, if you don't know, is the manager of the Yamaha Corporation of America Atelier in Los Angeles, California. Jeff he works with a worldwide team working with Yamaha artists. So he is head of their research and development in the States as well. So Jeff is working with the top people in the world, and he's going to give a clinic on saxophone setups. He's an excellent clinician and
Super nice guy.
Super nice guy. Great dad jokes. Also past president of the NAPPERT Association. So if you're a NAPPERT member, you know of Jeff from there.
You better.
So that's going to lead to a panel discussion that's going to be on the last portion of the day. So after Jeff's clinic, we're going to take a little break and then have a panel discussion with all of the clinicians and exhibitors, hopefully. And we're thinking about streaming that. If you have questions for the panel, put them in the comments below. Make sure you take Sax SmackDown, put that in the comments below of this stream. And then we're going to have a little bit of a happy hour and some more exhibitor time. And then whoever decides to stay for the weekend, we're all going to go out to dinner that night as well. So it's going to be a pretty awesome hang.
It'll be a fun time. 2 days of nothing but sax.
Yes. Very cool. And then Ryan, you're going to be giving an engraving clinic. So I kind of want to just talk about what you're going to be doing here.
Sure, absolutely. You can see I have some of the tools and items and stuff I will be talking about in my clinic. It is going to be on instrument engraving. That is one of the things that I specialize in.
Yes.
I'm going to be talking about a couple of the tools here. Let's go to the first person Ryan cam. I got it right here. This is what I see. So whatever I look at, this is what you see. So I'm looking at this. There, I'm looking at that. So, but this is what I'll have at my clinic, a couple examples of the tools that I use, the gravers. I'll demonstrate the technique that I'm going to be using, which is the wriggle cut technique. Different custom-made gravers that I've done. This one is made out of an old file that I sharpened. I'll show you a couple of the tools that I use for sharpening. A couple examples of some engraving styles you can see here. The one thing I forgot to do is I told Rich I would do this so you could see it in focus, and you can see my injury. I cut my hand on the wrapper of a cinnamon roll container. I was making cinnamon rolls this weekend. The paper wrapper, not even the sharp metal part. It didn't like cut me when it exploded out of the cardboard tube, but the paper wrapper. So thank you. Thoughts and prayers are appreciated on my while I recover. But back onto the engraving. So I'm going to show you a couple of the tools, some of the stuff that I use for sharpening. I'm going to show you some of the designs that I've done. This is my design for the bridge scene on a Wilmington Berry, which will be available to play.
Yes.
You'll get to see this, how it's engraved. You'll get to see kind of my code here and what this means. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about how I do transfers. You can see this is how I do my designs. I do pattern transfers, and I also draw directly on the instrument. Okay, so it's a little bit of both, but I'll show you about those. Show you some different engraving techniques itself. You'll see this guy here. Yes, there it is. This is one of our keyless altos. I'm going to engrave this. I'm going to do some prior engraving so you guys can see some of the techniques, and then I'm going to do a little bit during the clinic. Cool. I'll have funny stories about engraving in front of people, but I'm going to do this, and then I think what's going to happen is this horn that has been custom engraved by me is going to be for sale. And if you want a chance to buy it, you got to go to the Sax SmackDown.
That's right.
What's going to help is entering Sax SmackDown hashtag in on the comments. That'll give you that chance to win whatever. And then while you're here, then you have the ability to buy this custom engraved keyless.
To buy
set.
And to play. We'll also have a soprano version of this as well as a tenor version of this. So If you say, I want the soprano version, then you can leave it here and Ryan can engrave it.
Yeah, we'll
for
talk about something. You grease the wheels. So I'm trying to do that through the Ryan cam.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Good.
grease the wheels here. Papa's got a scotch and a donut addiction. Okay. So, but yes, we can talk, and then yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'll talk about some engraving stuff. There's going to be a lot of other clinicians there that I'm looking forward to. Really, everybody's clinic. The Theo's clinic is going to be great. Stephen George's. I'm all about key fitting. I like to see the new innovative stuff from Will. Jeff Peterson is a staple in this industry. Rulon, super nice guy, super great products. It's going to be a good time. And I don't know if you heard Rich say a couple times that both food and drink are included in the price. You're not just paying for these world famous, technicians and players and all this stuff. You're getting food and drink.
You're getting food and
it's an
free
open
drink.
bar. I mean, and a pizza party at Kurt's place with a hot tub. Yeah,
we didn't mention the hot tub.
We didn't mention the hot tub.
There is the hot tub.
Oops, I spilled the beans. He's got one. Bring your suits or don't.
Now, Ryan, if you are a amateur technician, would you be able to get a lot of stuff out of this thing?
Absolutely.
If you're a pro tech, would you be able to get it?
Even if you're just starting out, even if you're just interested in saxophone and you have just a deep desire to learn more, this is the place.
What about if sorry to interrupt, what if you're just a saxophone player and you want to see all the good stuff?
Absolutely not. No, yes, definitely, especially if you're interested in trying out mouthpieces or learning how to try out a mouthpiece.
Yes.
Or if you just want to kind of come in and hang out with the MusicMedic Sax Pro Shop crew, because if you've ever hung out with us, I'm looking at you. It's a good time.
It's going to be a good time. Plus, there'll be instruments here from Yamaha. We'll also have all of the vintage instruments from the Sax Pro Shop that have been overhauled. We'll have our Pro bass if you're in the bass saxophone world.
Who doesn't need a bass?
I'm in the market for one.
Me too.
We're actually overhauling 3 right now.
Jeff is surrounded. He cannot leave unless he fixes the basses. So.
Mark Chidley says, what's the overall cost of the SmackDown? Now, Mark, I have a special answer for you. I have a friends and...
You can pay the everyday schmo price.
The everyday price is $225, which is an amazing value in itself. But I have a special friends and colleagues price. All you have to do is email me, Rich, R-I-C-H, at MusicMedic.com, and I will get you...
He's giving you the secret password.
I'll give you your special password. It's going to be the special price that we give to the winner of whoever puts the hashtag SmackDown in the comments below for next week. And Ryan, I have one other question for you.
Sure. Lay it on me.
Say you are a professional technician. Say you're in the NAPERT organization, and NAPERT's going to be in Texas this year. You're on the East Coast. You can't make it. Would this be a good substitute?
Absolutely. This is, in fact, the way we structured this is very much like a NAPERT, definitely a regional, and maybe even like a mini national conference where you have it, like you said, everybody kind of goes together. We're all in the clinic together. We all hang out with the vendors together, and it really is a good time for a lot of learning. There's a lot of knowledge here.
And it's really a good value. For the cost of even the travel and the admission price, all of these other expenses that we are included with our stuff.
Drink.
You're going to be able to attend both. Book your flights to NAPERT in Texas. Book your flights to the SmackDown on February 23 and 24 in Wilmington, North Carolina. Especially if you're like in Minnesota in February.
Yeah, it's way better in North Carolina. No offense, Minnesota. You guys are A-OK, Nito and Spiffy, but it's a little bit nicer in North Carolina in the winter.
Right.
In the winter.
Or New York State, if you're up there, even in Pennsylvania, it's a good time to get down here. Yeah. And let's see, what else do I have for you? We've got... Are we going to be recording any of the clinics?
That is a good question. I think we talked about, we're thinking about doing a live stream of the panel discussion. So if you guys have questions, if you're watching this now, if you can hear my voice, write into the comments, whatever questions, and then we can pose them to, the members of the panel discussion.
Yes.
Better yet, come here and then you can ask them live. But write those questions in because we're thinking about doing just the panel discussion. We may record the clinics, we'll see, but we'll definitely like to do the panel discussion. That way you guys can hear some of the industry leaders, what they think about saxophones in general.
Yeah, and we'll be checking the comments. So if you're an international person and you can't be here, send us in your questions and we can try to ask them during the panel discussion as well.
There's still time to get here.
There's still time.
Still time.
Still time. So make sure you book your flights. Make sure you check out the education section of MusicMedic.com, and that's going to have all of the information that we talked about, including the agenda, the bios of the clinicians as well, so you can read a little bit more about them. And it's going to have the price. And then if you email me, rich@musicmedic.com, I will get you the friends and colleagues price. And I think that's going to do it for now, Ryan. We're going to be back next week with Stephen Georges. He's one of the clinicians. I got another question. Sergio's asking about the finish of the saxophone here. This is a brass lacquered piece. This is a keyless alto saxophone that Ryan's going to be engraving as part of his clinic at the Sax SmackDown. We also have that on the website under our saxophone section. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to do it for now. We will see you next week. And until next time, happy repairing.